speaking of imperialism, are you a Pacific Island nation in need of aid? Well, stuff you, says the Albanese government, unless you're willing to agree with us on gender, on LGBTIQ ideology and on climate change. Don't take my word for it. I can't make this stuff up. This is literally what the Albanese government has said. Their new development policy dictates that any foreign aid project over $3 million will now be required to address gender inequality, and over half of such projects will be required to have climate change initiatives, because that's top priority when you're wondering where your next meal's coming from, right? And it also bears mentioning that those half of projects will increase to 80% of projects as the year wears on. This is how the Albanese government is stewarding our $4.5 billion foreign aid money that we're happy to give away to those in need, as long as they agree with us, as long as they are willing for our Western values to be forced onto them. Then you can have our money. What's even more stunning about this policy is this is the policy the Albanese government have put up in order to combat the very concerning and now quite far-reaching influence that China has been gaining in the Indo-Pacific by giving them money for different projects that they desire. This is the policy that is supposed to make us here in Australia the partner of choice instead of China. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Here's Penny Wong speaking to it today. She says development and prosperity underpin peace and stability. Australia is using all elements of our national power to advance our interests and shape the world for the better. Well, maybe you should have stopped at advance our interests, because that's your job in the region, not this kind of colonialist BS where we're like, we'll give you money as long as you agree with us. Because
so now you're anti-colonialism. Make up your mind. Come on. Where does Liz Cambridge stand on this? No, do you know what this is? This is, right, because you know what's you've got the Labor National Conference coming up, right? And all these crazy, Labor against war saying, oh, we don't want any nuclear subs because, they might come up the Cooks River in Sydney's inner west, and that's a nuclear-free zone. We'd have to take down all the signs. Whatever could we possibly do? There goes our power sharing arrangement with the Greens. Anyway, this is all a ruse, right? All they are going to do,
I want to believe you,
they're going to stick a nuclear sub in the Solomon Islands. They're going to stick a nuclear sub in PNG. They're going to stick a nuclear sub in Tonga. Everywhere you go, there's going to be subs for all. It'll be like Oprah Winfrey, but with nuclear subs instead of cars. You get a nuclear sub, you get a nuclear sub.
Not if China gets there first.
No, because China's not going to get there first because we've got a nuclear sub there. And then when the left jump up and down in conference say, oh, excuse me, Comrade Speaker, I'd like to pass a motion because Australia's putting nuclear subs all over the Pacific. Listen, no. We're just giving them money to support gender ideology and climate change. And the left will all go, oh, that's all right then. Thanks very much.
There's two major problems with this. The first is, Pacific Islander people generally aren't sort of that welcoming of wokeness. I wish the government would simply watch the NRL. It might give them a clue. Remember when the Manly Sea Eagles had to wear the LGBTQ pride jumper?
They weren't having it.
It was Pacific Islander players who rejected that. So the government could take a cue from that, but they seem to have reinvented Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Oh, yeah.
Our government
Food is now at the bottom.
No, forget that. It's gender equality, climate change, sexual orientations, and then if we could get around to it, maybe water, sanitation,
bowl of
shelter,
rice.
Bowl of rice.
But Joe, we're not going to have nuclear subs for way too long in the future anyway.
They're underwater. No one else is going to know whether we have them or not.
In the meantime, China's been winning over Pacific and Southeast Asia elites with their deep pockets for ages now. Yep. So they're getting in ahead of us. This policy is supposed to be like, switch back to Australia.
Yeah, we're the warm, cuddly ones. Hey, we'll accept you however you are.
This isn't going to work.
This is going the way of the United States that put up, gay pride flags in Afghanistan at their embassy, expecting all the Afghanis were going to be thrilled by it. The Taliban would come in and, continue that policy.
I was going to say, you're not going to like our Saudi Arabia aid package. That's just it's not going well. But no, it'll be great. The Pacific Islanders, they're already wearing flowers around their neck. You might as well just make it official.
No.